Thank you, Chair, and your members for taking this issue quickly. I also wish to thank my senator for executing this matter very well. Chair, I think as a committee and as a house, if we have to give a good example in terms of ensuring that we protect counties and their government and the continuity of Senate and county government, I think we should deal with this matter very well, because what is going on in Wajir is that many people have been reduced to destitute. There are many contractors. I used to work in Wajir as an Oxfam accountant many years ago. There were some people who used to supply things those days, and now those people can't even supply anything because this government has made them destitute. So I think if we have to be really sympathetic with the people of Wajir, and then the other thing is, what makes me so fearful, Chairman, is the fact that if we let this governor go scot-free, I am afraid for the future of Wajir governors, because if this one goes scot-free, then all the other governors will just follow suit and become corrupt the way this one is corrupt, because they know there is no consequences. These people corrupt all the officials. The one from Auditor General, the one from Controller of Budget Office, the one from DCI. Everything you saw that even DCI. If you have to make any recommendation as this committee, let us even not use those people who are in those that side of the world. I tend to think that Auditor General should be asked to do a forensic audit, but not their staff who are based in Wajir. They should send fresh people from here. The other thing that I wanted to know, the other thing that my senator did not say is people's money is credited to their account. Let's say you are a supplier, you are paid, the money is in your account. They come back later and remove that money from their account and pay themselves. I don't know how they manage to do that. And I think people of Wajir should actually even sue banks. Because one of the person who told me this in confidence said, my money was credited to my account. The following day, that same money was withdrawn from that account without his permission. How is that even possible in this country, surely? And then, when a governor even comes to take allowance for staff for a field trip, and they tell the staff to sign here, the staff signs, and the money goes to the pocket of the governor and his cronies. That petty. That small amount. What big thing can they let go? Then there is also this problem of requesting money from the controller of budget for supplier A, but paying supplier B, who are the same people. Like someone was telling me, he has 30 companies that are his family members' companies. And those are the only ones that keep on paid for everything in that county. And then the other thing that made me also sad is the other day I shared on Senate business some recommendation on ECDs. In ISPAC did a research. ISPAC did a research on ECDs, on the performance of counties. And one of the ones that came out glaring in most of the counties is ECD is doing very badly, from demotivation of teachers, from having stationery and stuff like that, and from even payment, even there is even no uniform payment for counties. And I think all the senators who are in this committee, I think they need to check that report. And I shared even that report in this group, but I can find it again and reshare. It is a damning report on counties generally, but this is what we have now. This is what it is. My senator has said most of the things that I had written down to come and say. But I think, given the kind of corruption, and I'm sure most of your county governments are the same, at least we have this one as an example. I think let us prosecute this matter very well, so that other counties is a lesson for them. And I think and I'm sure the gentleman who did the petition has very damning evidence that you'll be shocked. That even, you will be wondering what kind of a country that this is, that such things can go on. I'm telling you, you'll be shocked. So I think let us handle this matter very well, and even to protect your own individual counties. I think this is a good example, because the things are so glaring that you wonder whether even there are any laws in this country. I thank you, Chair.
Chairman, Chairman.
Yes, Dr. Senator.
Thank you, sir. Chairman, sorry for coming back. Chairman, the petitioner just sent me a message. He said he has received the email, as I told you earlier, and he plans to send all the annexures before the end of this week. That he be given permission to submit some extra information, which are also important and are in line with the petition, which will help the committee perform its functions properly. So I'm forwarding that request to you, and I hope that he will be allowed to submit extra information which are not in the annexures as they are right now, Chair. The other thing I wanted to mention is that, as Senator Farhiya said, the issue of the allowances of members. Sometimes, because members, the staff used to sign before. Now, nobody even bothers to tell them to sign. You are told that they make some of these staff who are the cronies of the governor and his team just put up a list, write names, put their ID cards, put fake signatures there, and go and collect, instead of the staff, these things going to their account, or for the cash office in the county is closed for the last 3 years. It has never been open since the new governor took over. So instead of this money either going to the accounts of those people, somebody just comes and collects 30 million, 40 million, just like that, and there's no accountability. So there are problems here in the county. Thank you, sir. I submit here.
Thank you, Senator Dr. Ali, who is also the chair of another committee. Let me then open this up to the members for their comments. And as you comment, please take note of the request made by the petitioner to submit additional evidence. Even though we are quasi-judicial, we might need to think through that, and Senator Murkomen, you'll guide us. And I do think that as long as we are not having fresh allegations, I see no harm in the petitioners providing us with additional information to substantiate their allegations. But when I listen to the petition, the summary, and the submissions from the senators, I am just seeing Article 181 of the Constitution. Maybe at some point at the end of this, we might have to ask ourselves whether that is the article that should be invoked to deal with this very pitiful situation. Honorable Senators, who goes first?
Myself, Chair.
Senator Cheriot, please proceed, sir.
Chair, there is something else I wanted to add.
Okay, we can allow Senator Farhiya to make that clarification, then members can proceed.
1 minute.
No, it's not even a lot. I was requesting when let's hope that the country opens up, that we do the public hearing of this petition in Wajir County. That's my other request.
Okay, thank you, Senator Farhiya. So, members, you've heard from Wajir. Let's now help them to craft a way forward. Senator Cheriot.
Thank you, Chairman. First of all, I take comfort because I thought some of these scenarios I'm hearing only happen in the county that I represent in the Senate. But it's good to learn that this is an emerging challenge that is facing so many of our counties, and as a committee, we need to think through and create or find a solution. Because just like residents of Wajir, the rest of the residents across the country are suffering. And it's unfortunate to hear the very sorry picture that has been painted by Senator Dr. Ali and Senator Farhiya about the things that are happening in Wajir. So as not to perhaps make a conclusion
Chairman, before listening to the entire side of the story, I'd propose that that request by the petitioner to furnish us with additional information and material to support his case be granted, because even under our constitution, access to justice is one of the guaranteed rights to the citizens of this republic. Therefore, if there is anything that the petitioner can give us to help us make a better determination of the matters before us, I think it should be allowed and it should be welcome. In fact, Chairman, basing on my experience from Finance Committee, where we receive petitions almost on a weekly basis with regards, mostly it's on pending bills, we always invite even the petitioners to come and present before us. I don't know how you members in the committee would wish to proceed, but I see no problem in the petitioner being granted the opportunity to come and make his case before us. Then finally, as happened, there's one time we had, I think, a petition from suppliers from Machakos County, and we handled it. The circumstances were different that time, Chair, because we were allowed to do physical meetings, and we brought the petitioners together with the county government, and they laid bare their accusations in front of Governor Alfred Mutua, and I'm glad to report that a good number of them were sorted pronto. Even just before, that governor is a very crafty fellow. Just before appearance, before our committee, he made sure that a number of those petitioners had been sorted so as to clear or make weak the case that was before us. One way or the other, results were achieved, and I want to believe that the rest of the suppliers were also sorted in the long run. Therefore, Chairman, my request or proposal will be that we proceed and listen to the rest of the allegations from the petitioner, and also get the response from the county government. This, of course, has to do with the work plan. You had proposed earlier that we need to agree on the work plan. I do not know if there is a draft work plan that we can amend and see from here how do we proceed. Through that, and Senator Murkomen, you'll guide us. And I do think that as long as we are not having fresh allegations, I see no harm in the petitioners providing us with additional information to substantiate their allegations. But